afternoon. Welcome to the all-new Ron Chapel Show. We come to you from Harrisburg, PA. The mission of the Ron Chapel Show is to provide an outlet for residents of Harrisburg to call in about their concerns as residents here in the city. Harrisburg is the capital of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Right now, let's go straight to our street reporter on location at Hall Manor, I believe, Khaldoun Rashid. Hi, Khaldoun, are you there?
Hey, greetings, Ron and Pastor Chris.
Bless you, man.
Yeah, it's good to... Are you there?
Yep, go right ahead.
Everything there? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm out here on location, out here in Hall Manor at the former National Guard Armory, which has been converted by the city as a storage place for signs and whatnot and things like that, broken street signs, etc. And all it's doing is piling up. But the story is, Midtown Redevelopment, LLC, has been approved by Harrisburg City Council to construct townhouses, apartment buildings, and commercial space in the area, bordered by Raleigh, Fulton, Stafford, and James Streets in Uptown Harrisburg. In total, this business development would include 62 units across more than a dozen townhomes and 3 12-unit apartment buildings near the Broad Street Market, some of which would be deemed affordable. 5,500 square feet of this commercial space is to be used as a food hall. This project, according to current Harrisburg City Council President Danielle Bowers, will include parking for residents who are buying or renting any of the new units. The developers hope to break ground this upcoming November 2022. Tower Jewelers opened last month at the 3rd Street entrance of Strawberry Square from the downtown Harrisburg storefront. The shop offers a variety of high-end gold and gemstone jewelry, according to Harristown Enterprises, which owns Strawberry Square. The former Polyclinic Hospital, purchased by an Allegheny entity, say they are prepared to invest $45 million into its renovations once its land development plan is approved. Rapid Transit's Capital Region facility on Cameron Street in Harrisburg has an upcoming facility project. It's called Getting in Motion. Much of CAT, Rapid Transit's infrastructure and systems are outdated. Bus routes are inefficient, and home base on Cameron Street is 120 years old and showing its age. And the time has come to modernize. In the past, workforce density came from state workers who rode the bus. The shift now will be to accommodate city residents with easier transfers and no more hour waiting for your bus route, especially now since businesses are leaving vacant buildings downtown, which can be converted into apartments and townhouses. In addition to that, many state workers work from home 2 to 3 days a week and don't commute like they used to. Bus fare rates will be going up slightly, about 10 to 20 cents more for a ride, soon in the upcoming months. And that's going to do it for the Scoop on the Streets. I'm Khaldoun Rashid, reporting for the all-new Ron Chapel Show.
Thank you, Khaldoun. Thank you very much for your report. And now let's go to community announcements with Pastor Chris Thomas.
All righty, Ron. Let's rock and roll with the community announcements for today. Again, our first announcement, as I get ready to change the screen here, our first announcement is from, let's see what we got here. Our first announcement, Ron, is karaoke night going on. Again, everyone loves a good karaoke night. Again, Men in the Kitchen are featuring karaoke night, networking, music fun, drinks. And again, that's a YWEA fundraiser, launch of the Future Millionaires. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. And for more information, again, feel free, reach out to them. That event is going on August the 22nd, Ron. So let's jump into our next announcement here, see what else is going on in the Harrisburg and surrounding areas. Announcement number 2, coming up on the screen as we speak. The Chris Handles Franklin Foundation presents an evening with Chris Franklin and friends, The Power of the Vote, bringing communities together. Thursday, actually that's today, Ron, August 21st, 6 p.m. at the Edgemont Fire Hall. Again, that's located at 1407 North 25th Street in Harrisburg. And again, we look forward to seeing your face in the place.
Chris, pardon.
Sir.
Can we mention that Chris Hanos Franklin is a member of the world famous Harlem Globetrotters?
Sure, please. Go right ahead, bro.
Okay, I just did. Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, so let's see what our next announcement is. Boom, 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 boom. Working with some new software here, so bear with us. Here we go. Announcement number 3. What about the children? Victorious Through Prayer Youth Prayer Summit, multicultural service. What about the children this Saturday, August 23rd? And again, that's beginning at 1 p.m. at the Mount Calvary Church of God in Christ, Uptown Harrisburg, 1830 North 5th Street in Harrisburg. Let's see what else we got here. I think there's 1 or 2 more here real quick, Ron. Next one here. All right, 3-day tent revival, and that's August 22nd through August the 24th. And again, that's brought to you by Grace Outreach Destiny Church International presents. Again, all are welcome. The location is the Pembroke Park, 3106 Hoffer Street in Pembroke, Ron. And again, all are invited to attend.
Okay, hold that thought for a minute,
Yep.
Chris. We want to mention some of the elders that'll be there on site to pray with you and to help with your spiritual guidance. And so if you won't read their names, I will, but go right ahead, please.
Okay, we have Dr. Pastor Jackson, Pastor Ruth Guzman, Apostle Jeanette Long Mathis, Pastor Solera Man Jr., and Apostle Joseph L. Green, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All righty, let's see what else we got here.
And the dates are August the 22nd to the 24th.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, okay. Our next announcement is brought to you by the all-new Ron Chapel Show. Again, if you'd like to be a guest, again, if you have products and or services you want to present and showcase to the Harrisburg and the Central Pennsylvania area, again, reach out to Brother Ron Chapel. And again, we would love to get those announcements and you as a guest on a future program. I think there's one more. It's hiding from me here. See if this is in here. That's the tent revival. But how about I'll bring that one up here. I'll find it here so you can talk about it here. But I'll turn it back over to you at this time, Ron.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Chris Thomas, for the community announcements. Now we will be having public participation. If those residents in Harrisburg want to call in and share your concerns with the populace, the telephone number is 717-889-7181. That's 717-889-7181. All that we ask is that you express yourself without using any profanity, please. Okay, program note, next Thursday here on the all-new Ron Chapel Show, we'll be featuring possibly the next mayor of the city of Harrisburg, potentially the next mayor of the city of Harrisburg, and that's Mr. Dan Miller. He will be here live in studio. There's his picture there. He'll be here live in studio. Now, this is the second time that we are scheduling Mr. Dan Miller. And so next week, either we'll have a conversation with Mr. Miller and we'll open up the conversation so you can call in and speak with him. So we'll be talking with him or we will be talking about him. So that's next Thursday here on the all-new Ron Chapel Show. And Chris, I think that he has an excellent chance of being Harrisburg's next mayor.
Okay.
Because we know that the primary election generally was open to the Democratic Party. It seems the Democratic voters, and he came in second. He came in second as far as the vote tallies went. But because the general election in November will be open to all parties, well, I see that he would get at least 90% of the Republican vote. And you add that with the Democratic vote and independent vote that he'll probably get in the write-in votes. I think that we can say that Dan Miller may be assuming the helm as the next mayor of Harrisburg. And so those residents here in Harrisburg that have questions you want to pose to Dan Miller, you'll be able to do so. He'll be here in studio next Thursday on the all-new Ron Chapel Show. And speaking of elections, you know, a lot of folks say because the primary is over, we've had the primary, and generally in Harrisburg, being a predominant Democrat city, Normally, whoever wins in the primary is a shoe-in to win in the general election. But wait, hold on a minute. That's not entirely true. There's still an opportunity for those of you, those aspiring aspirants that think that the field did not include the proper people. If you think that someone that won the primary should not go ahead and win in November and become, for instance, a city council member, well, you still have an opportunity. You still have an opportunity to launch a successful write-in campaign. A successful write-in campaign. Now, contacting the Dauphin County Election Commission, I found out that there are 28 polling places here in Harrisburg. There are 28 polling places here in Harrisburg. And it's an excellent time for residents that may want to launch a write-in campaign to get started. We have about 8 weeks before the next election. And so if you really organize yourself and organize your team, you can participate and you stand a real good chance of winning. I say you stand a real good chance of winning because those that have moved on forward from the primary election, the majority of them, their campaign funds are exhausted because they feel that they have won the seat already. And so this whittles the field down. Pastor Thomas, you understand?
Yes, sir.
This whittles the field down. Now, with 28 polling places, I think you'll probably need at least 3 campaign workers at each location. And so there would be a total of 84 people. You need 84 dedicated people to stand in for you at the particular polling places, okay? At these particular polling places. And you should be you should be able and should be willing to compensate these people for promoting your candidacy. Because after all, you're going for an office where you will be given a tangible reward. It is a salaried office. And so you should be willing to pay those that are going to take time to promote your campaign. And so what I suggest is that you start saving your money now and you start seeking out resources to help you with your campaign. And once you find those 84 people, I think that you should start having campaign meetings to make sure everybody's on the same page, that everybody will be kind but aggressive at the polling places promoting your campaign. You can start saving right now. You can start tapping into different organizations and being a part of different organizations that will eventually help you bring out the vote for your campaign. Now, I firmly believe that if you can go out and meet 3,000 residents, if you can go out, make a plan to meet 3,000 residents between now and November. I mean, meet them one-on-one. If you have to knock on 3,000 households, 3,000 doors, or if you have to go to these various local places like these shopping centers and so on and so forth, these community organizations, if you can meet 3,000 voters and convince them that you should be sitting on Harrisburg City Council, well, you have plenty of time to go out and do that. You have plenty of time to go out and do that. And you have time to start organizing fundraisers for your campaign. Yes, but one thing I would advise you not to do, one thing that I think is very egotistical, Chris Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Is when you have some candidates running for office and they will accept contributions and donations, and then they'll go out and buy T-shirts, and then they want to have the audacity, I'm going to say, have the audacity to try to sell the T-shirts back to the people that gave them the money to buy the shirts, Pastor Thomas. Wow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you should be willing at least to furnish all your campaign workers with a complimentary shirt advertising your campaign. Don't take money from people and then turn around and try to sell them a T-shirt that's been marked up 3 or 4 times. You spend $6 for a shirt that they help you buy, and then you want to turn around and try to sell it back to them for $30. I think that everything is wrong about that. Everything is wrong about that. And so you should be encouraging people to want to wear your shirt, advertising your campaign, because after all, like I say, it's to benefit you. It's to benefit you. It reminded me of Pastor Thomas about 4 or 5 years ago when this particular company's wear was in style. I've never seen so many black folks with the last name of Hilfiger. You understand what I'm saying, Pastor Thomas?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I never seen so many inner city people named Hilfiger. There was Leroy Hilfiger. There was Pookie Hilfiger, Moochie Hilfiger, Mary Hilfiger, Alice Hilfiger. All these people walking around with clothing, with clothing with somebody else's name on it. You know what I'm saying, Pastor Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And that's something nowadays, I tell you, this stage of the game that I refuse to do. I'm not going to walk around with your company's logo advertising your company unless I'm being compensated for advertising your company. You understand what I'm saying, Pastor Thomas?
Yes, sir. Makes sense.
I mean, of course, some say, well, when it comes to designer clothing, well, that means that it's just made better, it's higher quality. But if I'm going to wear something that says Gucci, well, then I want to be paid by a company named Gucci. And so I put it like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Makes sense, man.
And so therefore, you might say, well, why are you wearing a Detroit cap? Is Detroit paying you anything? No, it isn't. It's the city that I grew up in, the city that I was raised in, and so I'm commemorating that city, and that's why I'm wearing the Detroit cap. And no, I'm not being compensated for wearing this Detroit cap. Lest you think that I'm being hypocritical right now. That's why I brought that up. But as I say, if you're going to run a campaign to try to get elected, and I cannot overly emphasize this because I think that it's very, very crash to take contributions from people to buy shirts and then turn around and try to sell those shirts to the same people that helped you buy them in the first place. Pastor Thomas.
Yes, sir.
I just think that that's very, very narcissistic. But other than that, as I say, you have plenty of time to go forward to try to meet one-on-one and shake hands with 3,000 voters here in Harrisburg. Okay, if you do that, I think that you will have a positive outcome in the November election. And so it's not all done yet. There's an old saying, Pastor Thomas, that it's not over till the fat lady sing. Well, I want to paraphrase that and say it's not over till the fat lady has laryngitis. And right now, the fat lady's at the proverbial buffet. And so, therefore, it's not over yet. Okay, so if you want to be a member of Harrisburg City Council or one of these other offices that will be appearing on the ballot in November, well, you have time, you have plenty of time, sit up, make your plans, organize your committee. And once you organize this committee, I suggest that you have meetings to make sure, as I say, everybody's on the same page, that everybody know their position, that everybody plays their position. Volunteers are all well and good. Volunteers are all well and good until they don't feel like doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot depend on volunteers. And don't make the mistake that some have made to try to do all their campaigning on Facebook. On Facebook. There are many, many voters who are not on Facebook. You understand what I'm saying, Pastor Thomas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are many, many voters that are not familiar with social media. And so if you depend on them, we saw one candidate really comes to mind that tried to do all their campaigning on Facebook, and they end up sitting back watching other folks win that campaign. So don't rely on Facebook. Yeah, you might reach a few people, but you have to get out there and press the flesh. You have to get out there and campaign one-on-one. You have to step up. You have to speak to people. You have to find out what their concerns are, what their interests are, and how they would want things to go in this city. And so now is the time to go out and do that. Now, getting back to Dan Miller, yes, we'll be talking about his position on many matters with the city, what he thinks should be done in the city, what he thinks should be addressed in the city that's not being addressed. We'll be talking about the court case that I believe the current mayor, Wanda Williams, is involved in. We want to talk to him about if he thinks that it's appropriate or if it's in good taste to have the leader of the city involved in such controversial matters and some of the statements that have been brought out that show that maybe the mayor of the city has changed her mind about some of her answers, and we want to speak about why he thinks that he would do a better job as mayor of Harrisburg going forward. Okay, now, word of note, we have invited Mayor Wanda Williams to come on the program in studio, and she has agreed and changed her mind and changed her mind and so anyway, we still have the door open for her if she want to come in and dispute anything that Dan Miller may be saying, because he is very, very expressive, Pastor Thomas, and so we expect to have some shots fired next week here on the all new Ron Chapel show. Now, getting back to those of you that want to consider a write-in campaign, we can provide space for you here on the all new Ron Chapel show, and you will be forwarded an invoice. You'll be forwarded an invoice for a political advertising fee, Pastor Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Which some of those contributions, I believe, were given to you for to help advertise your campaign. No longer can we just allow carte blanche. What's the word I'm searching for? Well, we cannot just allow people to come on campaigning without cost anymore, because we found out in the long run that is not appreciated, Pastor Thomas. You understand what I'm saying? That is not appreciated. People will will cheerfully and readily come on to advertise their campaign, but when we try to call them back to come to some of the things that we're organizing here at the station to help highlight the station, to help highlight the show, we get no response. We get no response. We don't even get any well wishes about our particular event. So we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that any longer. We tried to provide, we tried to share what we have here at the station, but we found out that it really wasn't appreciated. So those days are over. Those days are over, because the final analysis, this is a business just as legitimate as the business that make up your yard signs, that make up your flyers, that you pay to have these various halls for your campaign meetings and for your campaign fundraising events. Okay, so if you can show us that they're doing all that for you at no cost, well then we may do likewise. Other than that, you can come on. You can talk about your candidacy, but believe me, you will be leaving with an invoice also. Okay, so that's what we have to say about this November campaign coming up, and also about our special guest next week, which will be Dan Miller. I believe that he is the current treasurer for the city of Harrisburg. He's a former one-term candidate, one-term Harrisburg City Council member, and he's a former candidate for mayor of Harrisburg. He ran, I believe, Pastor Thomas, the first time. Mayor Eric Pappenfuss ran.
Okay.
It was Mayor Eric Pappenfuss. It was then mayor, I believe. What's her name? first black mayor, Linda Thompson. Yeah, they were all vying for the Democratic nomination. Okay, this time Dan Miller will be running as a Republican, and some of you may have a problem with that, but we understand. I think that if you really stop and think, you'll understand why he is running as a Republican. He did crossfile after all. And I tell you, the Democratic nomination for mayor is Wanda Williams because she won the primary election. And so, therefore, that's why Dan Miller will be running as a Republican. And I truly believe that there'll be a lot of cross party voting in this general election. And so, all of that is weeks away. And so, we'll see what happens. Okay, I had mentioned Detroit. In the interim, over the past couple of weeks, I had a chance to revisit the town of my youth, Detroit, Michigan, and so I just want to report that things are going well. They're really building up the city. The downtown is I'll just say amazing. It's amazing. They've done a lot of different improvements there in the city of Detroit, and I salute the city planners for all the fine work that they've done. On another note, on a social note, Pastor Thomas, I found out talking to some young folks in the community that a lot of social services, because of the current presidential administration, a lot of social services have been cut.
Wow. Wow.
For instance, there was a time back in the day, not too long ago, back in the 80s, back in the 90s, and in the early 2000s, commonly, grown folks might go to certain adult party places, cabarets, bars, clubs of the like, and they may meet someone, Pastor Thomas, and they may strike up an acquaintance, and they may at times even leave together, Pastor Thomas.
Oh my.
And then go and involve themselves in quote unquote adult things, and then find out a day or two later that they have been affected, with something that can come from casual adult participation matters, and they would go to a clinic, Pastor Thomas. They have free clinics in Detroit, and so they would go to a free clinic, I believe, and get a possibly a shot, and some medication or prescription for medication, and then go on and take care of that problem. But understand that is no longer. Pastor Thomas.
Sure, sure.
That is no longer. So, in a word, there are no more free clinics. There are no more free clinics in Detroit, Michigan, Pastor Thomas. Which means that if you don't have insurance, well, then you are just out there. You're just out there. You know what I'm saying, Pastor Thomas?
Right.
Because you cannot receive any kind of free medical attention anymore. And I only mention that because there may be a growing trend throughout the nation. I don't know if it's that way here in Harrisburg or wherever you're watching this from, but I'm going to tell you, it's a very, very serious matter. And so you should use the utmost precaution in all of your decisions when it comes to casual adult matters. Okay, and so I'll leave that right there. And so, but anyway, I wanted to say that, and also a little bit about my trip. Normally when I go to Detroit, Pastor Thomas, here from Harrisburg, normally we'd rent a car from Enterprise to have a trouble-free, worry-free trip there and back, Pastor Thomas.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
but now because I am sort of flying with one wing. You know, I chose not to take that 6 to 8 hour drive myself, and so this time I chose to go there on the Greyhound bus, you know, which was a sort of interesting experience in itself, Pastor Thomas.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
interesting experience. And one thing I found out, the old days of just riding up to the Greyhound bus station and getting a ticket and paying for your ticket and taking your trip, those days have come to a close in a lot of ways. I think here in Harrisburg, they still do have attendants behind the counter that'll sell you a ticket or a ticket for your trip. But I found trying to come back from Michigan, I could not buy a ticket at the station.
Wow.
Right now, you have to purchase your ticket online. You have to go online to purchase your Greyhound bus tickets in most metropolitan areas now. You know, which I think is sort of an inconvenience for a lot of people in society, especially those that don't know their way around the internet, Pastor Thomas. Those that don't have access to the internet, Pastor Thomas. There are a lot of elderly people, and there are a lot of other people who really don't know how to go online to make any purchases, and so I think it puts them at a great disadvantage. And so, you know, I'm saying that right now. I'm saying that to pull your coat to it if you have people in your family that'll be traveling anywhere via Greyhound. Well, then it'll be good to be able to give them a hand to help them secure their ticket. You know, if you can't outright buy the ticket for them, at least show them how to buy the ticket online. The only benefit I saw in that, Pastor Thomas, is that they do give you a choice of seating arrangement.
Okay.
You know, they have a chart there where you can pick out where you want to sit at on the bus. You know, if you want to sit in the aisle, if you want to window seat, if you want to sit mid range or to the back of the bus or the front of the bus, you know, you do have an opportunity to choose your seating. Okay. Now, I think there's a cost, probably $6 each trip. You know, like I had a round trip ticket, of course. And so it was $6 extra for the seat that I chose going, and $6 extra for the seat that I chose coming back. And I should have prefaced this by thanking God for His traveling mercies, because other than that, you know, it it was an adequate ride. It was an adequate kind of economical ride. And speaking of that, I want to take the time now to thank Dr. Antoine Tony Cameron for hosting the program 2 weeks ago, the last program here on the All New Ron Chapel Show until this one, because last week we weren't here, as some of you know. So I want to thank Dr. Antoine Tony Cameron, also known as the Piano Man, for hosting the show. And I think that he did a good job. I just got to highlight that at times I thought that it might have been a little too churchy, I know that Dr. Cameron has his doctorate in theological matters, but as you know, is basically a secular broadcast, and so I'm not going to hold that against him, you know. But if we have him back again, we hope that it'll be more about secular matters in society, and that's not to offend anyone that enjoy theological studies. But Pastor Thomas, I believe that you do have a full array of gospel, of spiritual programs here at The Voice, and you and the missus also host one. And since I mentioned that, tell them about your show, Pastor Thomas.
Sure, Ron. Thank you, man. Actually, our show is actually just like your show. Some of the longest airing shows here on our platform. Again, the Daily Saga. We used to do it 5 days a week, and we were doing it 7 days a week, and then we got two kids, and we went down to two days a week, and now we're back down to 1 day a week. But nonetheless, every Thursday around 3:15 p.m. until about 4:15 p.m., we host what is called the Daily Saga, which means it's an acronym for Special Anointed and God Appointed. And that's the point that we really try to drive home, that each and every one of us are special. We're anointed by God, and we're God appointed to do great things and to accomplish great things. Again, failure isn't our end destination. So if you're looking for hope, if you're looking for encouragement, if you're looking for ministry, again, you're invited to join us again every Thursday at 3:15 p.m. And again, we look forward to sharing the Word of God with you and praying with you, and again, just touching heaven and changing earth. So thank you, Ron. I just wanted to share a quick announcement, if I could, bro. Actually, two. One, I wanted to thank you, man, for those that missed it. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. For those that missed it this past Saturday, not sure if you can see that on the screen there. Thank you, man. The tremendous job, man. You're quite a professional, man. And we thank you at the last minute. You hosted my 55th birthday party and our 12th year wedding anniversary. Big shout out to my wife, Melissa Hall Thomas, again for the tremendous stand-up job that she did. But back to you. Thank you, man. At the last minute, we didn't have an MC. And I mean, I could have did it, but sometimes you allow people to excel in the gifts that God has given them, and you really came through in the pinch. I really hosted a nice program, and it was unforgettable, man. So I just wanted to thank you. These are just some of the highlights, some of the guests that were there, and that video that we did with you hosting is almost at 1,000 views. So to God be the glory. And again, if you're looking for someone to help you in your next event, as far as decorating, feel free to reach out to Melissa's Custom Creations and more. And again, we'd love to make your next event a success as well. So thank you, Ron, for this opportunity to talk about that event, bro.
Oh, you're quite welcome, Chris, and we had a grand time. And again, happy 55th birthday.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, folks, before we open up the telephone lines, for those of you that want to participate, let me tell you about something that's happening soon and very, very soon. And I believe the day is August the 23rd. And this is a person that we're going to feature on the program today, Pastor Thomas. If you would show a picture, please. I believe we have a picture of her.
Oh, okay. 1 second here.
No, that's
no,
not.
I know.
Not him. Okay.
Ready. Right here.
And meanwhile, let me say, if you are interested in having your own program here at The Voice, please contact Pastor Chris Thomas during regular business hours. The number is 717-889-7181. Okay, and that's who we are highlighting today. She is Apostle Jeanette Long. She's a pastor of Destiny Outreach Church here in Harrisburg on Derby Street. And she's also one of the elders that'll be at the tent meeting that Chris announced August the 22nd to the 24th. And so, but anyway, she's also an author. She's an author, and she has a book entitled "You Don't Know Me Like That." Chris Thomas, you don't. Well, maybe you do. Maybe I know you like that too. But the name of the book is "You Don't Know Me Like That." But anyway, she has a book signing, a book release that'll be taking place on the 23rd. Let me see. I have the information right here. Okay. She'll have a book signing at 5 p.m. For her book, You Don't Know Me Like That. And the location is 310 64 Pembroke Park. Is 31064 Pembroke Park in Harrisburg. The zip code is 17103 for her new book, You Don't Know Me Like That. And that's by by Apostle and Pastor Jeanette Long. Okay, and so we do hope that you can attend. You can attend, and also purchase a copy of that book, which will be autographed by Apostle Jeanette Long. Jeanette Long, and that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. And the address again is 310 64. Is that Hoffer Street?
Yes, sir.
310 Hoffer Street. Uh, and and so that's the Pembroke Park location. And the time is 5 p.m. 5 p.m. And the book will soon be coming to Amazon. So a new book release and book signing tomorrow by Apostle Pastor Jeanette Long. Okay, okay. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Right now, we're going to open up the telephone lines for those of you that have something that you want to say to the residents of Harrisburg or that you want the general public to know about. The number is 717-889-7181. That's 717-889-7181. Okay, we'll give a few minutes to see if anybody is interested in making any announcement. Yes, Pastor.
Yes, sir. The second announcement, I just remembered and I just found it, located it. If I could just talk about it just 2 seconds. This coming Sunday, again, God has opened up a door. It's been a while since I had the opportunity to speak behind a podium. Normally, we're street preachers, social media preachers, but anytime God opens a door, we said, "Here I am, send me, we will go." This coming Sunday, the Temple of Deliverance Ministries is having a fellowship outreach service. And again, the theme is, Whose Report Will You Believe? Again, that's Sunday, August 24th, which is this coming Sunday. Again, that service is at 1:30 p.m. Again, it's sponsored by Pastor Ruth Smith and the wonderful program coordinator, which is Minister Dolores Roy. Again, that's at the Hotel Indigo. Again, that's at 765 Eisenhower Boulevard in Harrisburg. And again, I'll be the special guest speaker. So come out and hear a word from the Lord as we talk about whose report will you believe. So thank you, Ron, for this opportunity again to talk about that upcoming service.
Okay, brother, you're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. And so, again, we've given folks an opportunity to call in if you choose to call in. And if not, we're going to end the program soon. We're not going to belabor the issue. I want to thank Khaldun Rashid for his very, very fine street report. And also shout out to our brother Timothy White for his participation in helping out the homeless. There's a homeless encampment that he has used a lot of efforts to help provide tents, and also they have shower facilities at this homeless encampment. So we thank Timothy White for his efforts to help those less fortunate here in Harrisburg. And there's a photo there of a man on the street, Khaldun Rashid. We thank him for his fine report. Okay, so going once, going twice. Okay, so
I'm not sure if you can see that picture there. That's a picture of Timothy White installing street lights in that homeless community that they're creating for those that have been displaced.
yeah, Timothy White sitting high up, and I think that it looks like it might be his son. Uh, it looked like a relative, but Timothy White has been doing amazing things in Harrisburg, and he is someone that I think that the city should recognize. Pastor Thomas, I think that a resolution, an award should be in store, not only coming from Harrisburg City Council, but also from as Timothy White there on the left, and another worker of his there. I think that he should be recognized not only by Harrisburg City Council, but by the community of churches here in Harrisburg, and also by the mayor's office. And as Timothy White, we salute you You're doing a marvelous, marvelous job. Okay, and so, folks, we thank you for taking the time to tune in to the all new Ron Chapel show, and we do hope that you'll join us next Thursday, beginning at 12 noon, where we'll be featuring potentially the next mayor of the city of Harrisburg. And again, those of you who want to vie for a seat for Harrisburg City Council or any other seat that will be appearing on the ballot here in Harrisburg in November, well, you have an opportunity, you have time to get out there and press the flesh, and meet 3,000 voters. I believe if you meet 3,000 voters one on one, and if they will confirm with you that they'll be voting for you, well, then I think that you have an excellent chance of assuming a seat from the selection that will be on the ballot here in November. But by all means, I hope that you are making plans to vote, and also hope that you are enjoying this fleeting summer. Pastor Thomas, the summer is
Yes, sir.
it is like about 3/4 gone. So I hope that you had some memorable experiences this summer, and if not yet, well then you still have time, and I hope that you capture all those, with some photographs or with some videos, and so I want to thank all of you. I want to thank those of you also that are watching via social media, and so. I want to say shout out to this Jacqueline Maxey. Jacqueline Maxey. She's quite a singer, Pastor Tom.
Okay, we'll be have her on the show
Yes,
soon.
she is quite a singer. Yes, her and her daughter, they are truly anointed singers. And I want to say hello to my niece in Detroit, Renee Watson. And I hope things are going well. And also, I want to congratulate my cousin Chanel Chapel on her wedding, a sacred matrimonial day, and shout out to my cousin Judy Chapel, who now has a new son-in-law. And so, I want to wish y'all well. Thank you for taking time to view the all new Ron Chapel show, and we hope to see y'all again next Thursday. And so everybody have a good day. It's Billy Stewart. Summertime.
Progression music.